up and welcome back to my channel. Now today I'm going to be giving a review for the film Avatar Fire and Ash. Now this is the third film in the Avatar franchise, and it continues the events, I guess you could say, from the previous film Avatar The Way of Water, because the family is still dealing with the loss of a family member, and I'm going to spoil the events of the second film if you haven't seen that, but they're still dealing with the loss of a family member. So it's a lot of sadness and sorrow dealing with that particular conflict from the previous film. Now this is also directed by James Cameron, and you do have the return of actors and actresses Sam Worthington, who plays Jake Sully. You also have Zoe Saldana as Neytiri, and Stephen Lang returns as the antagonist of the film. He's actually the side antagonist of the film this time as Colonel Miles Quaritch. And then you also have Sigourney Weaver, who returns as Kyrie. But at the same time, you do have a new antagonist in this particular film, known as I think it's Baran, if I'm not mistaken. And she's the Na'vi leader of this other clan, this volcano dwelling clan, known as the Mainquan. I think that's how you pronounce it. And she's very evil and deadly. Because I was kind of, I won't spoil the film, but I was kind of expecting her to be a turnaround type of villain. But she is very evil and vile, and she kills and stuff like that. So yeah, she's pretty bad. I think she's actually even worse to a certain extent than that Quaritch was. And I think his character, he kind of took a different turn in this particular film, because it seemed at times that he does have a good side, and at the same time he has a bad side. And he also has his son too that he's dealing with too as well. I figured, what was his son's name? Yeah, because he has the human son who's known as Spider, that they call Spider. He's human too. So they still have their conflicts with each other throughout the film. And this film is pretty long too. It's 3 hours long. Wow, and you can feel it too. But there are a lot of awesome action sequences in the film. And I also saw this in Dolby Cinema. That's another thing I'm gonna touch on if I don't forget. But overall, the film is just dealing with the continued events of the previous Avatar film, where you have the people trying to the Earthlings, I guess you could say, trying to take over they're trying to still colonize Pandora, and they're trying to figure out how they can make people breathe on Pandora. Yeah, and the group they have the forces known as the RDA, and so on, who are still trying to take over Pandora from the Na'vi. And of course, Quaritch is with them too as well. So yeah, that's basically what most of the film is about, if you want to focus on the main plot. But at the same time, you have the emotional incident with the conflict from the previous film. I'm going to say there was Jake Sully and two, one of their sons had died. I forget the name of them, but one of them had died from the second film. So they're still dealing with the loss of them. And Neytiri doesn't like the Spider. It's hanging with the Na'vi because he's a human and so on. And then of course, Quaritch is still seeking revenge against Jake Sully. He's constantly after Jake Sully throughout the film. And they had some meetups, where they meet up. I thought that was kind of odd. That's how you can tell right there that Quaritch kind of has a good side, because they had some meetups in the film where they actually have a conflict and be fighting and stuff like that. But then they'll side up and have to go save somebody. They'll team up with each other and go save another people. And most of the time that's dealing with the conflicts with Varan, that particular Na'vi group that's from that was living in the volcano area or something like that. But like I say, the film itself, that's basically what it's about. As far as the other thing, it goes a Pandora, where the RDA is still trying to colonize Pandora, because they're even trying to make it where they can breathe on the planet. Because there's a scene in the film, well, I won't spoil it though, but that's why they're still trying to make it where they can really put Earthlings on Pandora. But as the film does go on, there are some pretty cool moments, stuff with I forget what the sea creatures are called, that they can communicate with and talk like that. They're there too as well. And like I said, some of the action scenes are very awesome. It's moments where it can be very whoa, it's real fun. It's non-stop. Kind of some of the action scenes, I know this is the one towards, I think the third act, it's it carried on for at least an hour. And I must admit at times I do feel the film is really just dragging too much. And it does feel it really wasn't no need for this particular film, because I must admit, it feels it's very similar to Avatar The Way of Water. The second film, if you're not mistaken, you would think that you were still watching that particular film. It's something very similar about it. It really compares to that. If you just walk in on, you would think this was The Way of Water. It's very similar. It's the way it plays out and everything, the emotional parts of it and stuff like that. But it's still a pretty solid film. And again, I did see this in Dolby Cinema. And I must admit, wow, I don't think I have ever seen nothing like this. Because I used to go like to the IMAX when I see movies like in theaters, like major movies like this, but I chose to see this like in Dolby. I might still see it again, but I saw it in Dolby Cinema. I couldn't believe how it looked, like the look of it. Oh, and it was also in 3D too, which I was kind of surprised with. Because I can't recall then knowing that Dolby Cinema had 3D movies, because I know a lot of these movies just be like Dolby Cinema, but this had 3D with it too as well. And it didn't need 3D, because I remember when I saw Avatar The Way of Water in Dolby Cinema, it didn't have 3D. I was like amazed at how it looked, like how it looked so sweet. It's just really unbelievable. I didn't know that a movie can really look like this. I mean, it does look too like it almost looks like a video game, especially when it's like focused on like the naive people and not any like human characters, say like the human characters there. If it's just focusing on like the naive, it really looks like it's like almost like a video game. Like the look of it, you know, you can tell it's like CGI like and stuff, but it looks beautiful, it looks awesome. And after that, I was watching the 3D, like something like with like ashes from the fire or like water effects or like trees are blowing. I must admit, like they was right there in front of me in the theater. Like if I see like grass or bushes blowing on the water, it looks like it was right there in front of me in the theater that I was in. It is that good, like the 3D effects on this, you know. But I did notice that with the other Avatar films, I must admit, it still seems like there's nothing that really looks this good, from my opinion. I see like a lot of movies, like in major movies too, but look this good like in Dolby Cinema, like the way Dolby Cinema does. And I didn't realize that it was actually better than IMAX, you know. So yeah, I would definitely recommend this. You know, I feel like at times it's just still like too similar to like Avatar: The Way of Water. And I know James Cameron is apparently planning on 2 more of these. I think the 4th one was already made, but he just has to go into like production on it or pre-production on it. But I think that one was already wrapped too. But I know it's supposed to be even like a 5th one. And the way he did tie this film up, it looks like you can make it look at it like it was like a trilogy, like it's complete. You can tell they can just like leave it there, like wrap it up right there, you know. But because apparently he said that the 4th and 5th films would focus on like new characters from what James Cameron is saying. So we wouldn't need like Jake Sully or Neytiri and like Quaritch. We wouldn't need them again, you know. Apparently they'll be focusing on like new people. So that's kind of curious, because the way this film ends is it feels like it's closure to it, you know. But yeah, in Avatar: Fire and Ash, I'm gonna give this a B minus. Like I say, I think it was pretty cool. It has some awesome action sequences, but just especially if you could watch it like in Dolby Cinema, I would definitely recommend if you can catch it like in that. You know, I guess you know if you wait till it comes on video, you like try to watch it like in the best like format possible. Because I must admit, it really is nothing like this. And I watch a lot of movies. I know there's nothing like on this level. You know, like really looks like this, like amazing, and it is like a Dolby Cinema that I'm talking about. But and I did see it in 3D. Like I said, I was surprised that Dolby Cinema even had 3D, because I don't recall them having like 3D. Because I know usually they just be on a Dolby Cinema, you know. But anyway, I'm gonna give this a B minus, and I do feel like it was got kind of too long at times. It does have some pacing issues, and it was like dragging a lot. But I would still like recommend it, you know. But anyway, please leave a comment and subscribe too as well.